For Stephen and Kayla, hope for the future.
All I know is I love you, and we were meant to be together forever.
Could this be the beginning of a new life together?
Will you marry me?
Steve.
Days of Our Lives, weekdays.
Coming up tonight on the Daily News, a new development in the debate over a segregated golf club on city land. I'll have details. One of the president's men is being investigated for possible wrongdoing, and he's not talking. And Bruce Rader brings us the big story of the day, Super Bowl XXII. Details are next on the Daily News.
They crush. They demolish. The all-new 88 Bigfoot and 88 Stomper. Bigger, meaner, and tougher than ever. And ready to square off in Hampton Coliseum this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. The new Bigfoot versus the new Stomper in the ultimate car-crushing free-for-all. Plus truck and tractor pulling as Hampton Chevrolet presents the Redman TNT Winter Nationals. See the most powerful sport on earth.
Push up. What a big boy. Good night, sweetheart.
This winter, some people won't be able to heat their homes. But together we can help. Please add a few dollars to your next electric or gas bill. Give to EnergyShare.
Nothing improves the taste of popcorn like the right movie. And nothing helps you find the right movie like TV Guide. Because TV Guide now has the most objective movie rating system anywhere. It's based on performers, directors, awards, box office, and reviews. So you can really depend on it. You can also depend on our new daily preview pages to give you good advice and make your popcorn taste even better. Pick up TV Guide this week. It's better than ever.
WAVY TV 10.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Barbara Ciara. Les Smith has the weekend off. Here's what's happening. Record-setting performances by quarterback Doug Williams and rookie running back Terry Smith powered the Washington Redskins into a 42-10 blowout over the Denver Broncos in Super Bowl XXII. And our own Bruce Rader is there in the midst of the action. Bruce, give us your sideline view of the blowout.
Well, I'll tell you, Barbara, you know, all of the experts said this week, first they said it was going to be a close game. Then they said John Elway, a one-man team, was going to perhaps be the man to knock off the Washington Redskins. Well, it certainly wasn't the case for the many millions of people around the world, 120 million just here in the United States, that watched Super Bowl XXII from here in San Diego. Of course, the Washington Redskins, down by 10 points in the first quarter, came back with an unbelievable 35 points in the second quarter, and they just did a fantastic job. Now, there's still a lot of action going on in the locker room. I came outside just for a second, but just a couple of minutes ago, I talked with a couple of the Redskins, Neal Olkewicz and Art Monk, and here's what they had to say. What was going through your mind when you were down 10-0?
We were scared, you know, but we perform best when our backs are to the wall like that, and they got our attention real quick.
Was Doug Williams phenomenal today or what?
Oh, he was great. I don't think you can ask a quarterback to do anything more than what he did out there today.
Going in there and breaking the record in the Super Bowl, first Super Bowl for him?
Well, not so much breaking the record and everything, but it's just the way he's handled himself this whole week with all the media attention and everything. I don't think he felt any pressure at all. He was poised about the whole situation and being out there today, and he just went out there and did what he had to do.
What were you thinking when you guys were down 10-0 in the first quarter?
Well, we've been in that situation many times before, so there is a concern when you get down, but we all have had confidence in ourselves to know that we can come back and win. And we've been in that situation before. We've done it. So we just knew we had to get things rolling.
And in that second quarter, holy cow, you just lit up the scoreboard.
Well, we got a running game going, really got that going. I think once you can establish a running game on any team like we did today, then I don't think you're going to lose.
As Barbara just mentioned, a couple of Super Bowl record-setting performances. Doug Williams, the first black ever to start a Super Bowl game, was the most valuable player with a Super Bowl record 340 yards. He completed 18 of 29 passes. The rookie Smith with a Super Bowl record 204 yards. And how big is the Super Bowl? We'll take a look at this, folks. Already off of the assembly line, the Wheaties box, Breakfast of Champions, and who's on the cover? Doug Williams. Is he a star or what? Coming up in sports, John Castleberry will have highlights and more on the big win, the Washington Redskins knocking off the Denver Broncos in Super Bowl 22. I am sure there's a lot of partying going on in Hampton Roads and in Georgetown. You know there's a lot of partying going on here. I'm heading back into the locker room, Barbara.
Okay, thanks a lot. Bruce Rader reporting live from San Diego via satellite. We'll see you when you get back here, Bruce. Thanks a lot.
Okay.
And on to other news. Controversy looms over longtime presidential aide Edwin Meese. The Attorney General is implicated in a scheme promoting a pipeline through Iraq. A special prosecutor investigating the deal says Meese played an important role in the payoff. Robin Lloyd has the story of yet another of the president's men associated with illegal activity.
Meese addressed a conservative youth group this afternoon, but said nothing about the investigation. As he left, reporters were kept at a distance by angry supporters of the Attorney General. Even though Meese was avoiding reporters, the president's chief of staff, Howard Baker, was out in public strongly defending the Attorney General and squelching any rumors that he might be asked to resign.
The president has authorized Marlon Fitzwater to say, and he has said that he continues to have full confidence in his Attorney General.
But privately, White House officials are concerned about the investigation. Sources have told NBC News that Special Prosecutor James McKay has shown Chief of Staff Baker a 1985 memo addressed to Meese suggesting a scheme to pay off Israeli officials. The memo came from Meese's old friend, Robert Wallach. Wallach reportedly proposed to Meese that Israeli officials be given money as an incentive for Israel not to attack a proposed oil pipeline in Iraq, in which Wallach had financial interests. Meese has denied that he ever approached any Israeli official on this matter and has said that he did not promote the project. But sources confirm a New York Times story today that McKay has told senior White House officials that Meese had a, quote, important and sustained role in pushing the billion-dollar pipeline project. What's at issue is a federal law which makes the Attorney General responsible for prosecuting American citizens who try to bribe foreign officials. Officials here say they have no indication at this time that McKay intends to indict Meese, but they admit that the special prosecutor has not ruled that out. Robin Lloyd, NBC News at the White House.
A group of black attorneys in 2 Hampton Roads cities are drafting a complaint against Portsmouth City Attorney Steve Lieberman. The complaint will be filed with the State Bar Association. At issue is the segregated Bidawee Golf Club. The course, which sits on city land, excludes blacks. Portsmouth Council has been debating on a way to end the lease with the Bidawee owner with guidance from City Attorney Steve Lieberman. But Lieberman is a member of the Whites-Only Club, and the Twin City Bar Association believes that that is a breach of professional and ethical standards. When contacted by telephone, Portsmouth City Councilman Tip Corprew said he was the first to point out a possible conflict, and he's glad that others feel the same way. City Attorney Steve Lieberman, the subject of the complaint, had no comment. A news conference outlining the charges against Lieberman is scheduled for tomorrow. They're calling it Decision 88, and no, it's not a forum for presidential politics. It's a group in Hampton Roads interested in foreign policy making. And today they heard from Congressman Owen Pickett. As Lauren Yee reports now, Pickett faced many questions as he prepares to vote on Reagan's Contra Aid package Wednesday.
Simply, in effect, helping to overthrow another government which is legally constituted, which would be a violation of our Constitution as well as international law, and I'd like your response to that.
Virginia Beach Congressman Owen Pickett, a Democrat, fielded most of the questions raised in this arena, but this group will have to wait until Wednesday to see how Pickett votes on President Reagan's Contra proposal.
I can't say that I support the continuation of the war in Central America.
Reagan wants Congress to approve $36.25 million in aid to the Contras. The majority of the money will go towards non-military support. Pickett agrees with Reagan that the United States should help the Contras assimilate back into Central America.
I don't think that this nation should simply walk away from that group of people without trying to make sure that they are assimilated into some society there, hopefully in Central America.
I really would hope to see him out there in the battle lines fighting for that.
Keith Griffler won't be in Washington when his congressman votes on the Contra issue, but he'll be watching Pickett's move carefully, just like Edith Fine.
Anything that happens anywhere has its effect on all of us.
Every week, this group will hear from experts on foreign policy. They say the key to controlling one's fate is simply to know the workings of the world. In Norfolk, Lauren Yee, The Daily News.
And still ahead, convenience store clerks say 2 employees on the overnight shift is still not safe enough. And the family of a murder victim say the killer is still on the loose. Details when the Daily News continues.
Now, Cutlass comes through for you again with up to $1,550 in savings. It starts with $400 cash back from Oldsmobile on Cutlass Calais. Combine that with up to $440 in option package savings, plus special savings on air-conditioned models, and your savings could add up to $1,440. On Cutlass Ciara, $750 cash back combined with special option package savings of up to $800 could save you up to $1,550. Think of it, the style and value of Cutlass Ciara with up to $1,550 in savings. See your Oldsmobile dealer for details now.
Jesse Jackson, who is seeking the Democratic nomination for president, is doing quite well in the polls. In fact, a new poll of Southern voters shows Jackson leading the pack of Democrats. Jackson leads the field by some 22%, while on the Republican side, Vice President George Bush is holding a commanding lead over Bob Dole. More than 5,000 voters were polled in 12 Southern states. Look forward to a complete coverage from the Daily News on the political process as Terry Zahn covers the Iowa caucuses, and Joel Rubin will bring us reports in the all-important New Hampshire primary. Convenience store workers from the peninsula met today for the first time with their South Side counterparts. The meeting was called to develop a new strategy to toughen up security. The workers plan on petitioning all Tidewater city councils, suggesting new regulations. This sudden push for new laws comes after 3 employees working overnight shifts were murdered over a 2-week period. One of the businesses involved, which oversees the 7-Eleven stores, agreed to put 2 clerks on duty during the graveyard shifts, but some employees want more.
2 clerks, a law that says 2 clerks must be together after 12 o'clock, that no one should be allowed to work alone in that time of night.
22 other cities are considering making it law that convenience stores employ 2 clerks during the graveyard shift.